Well, if we're talking about the future, if we're talking about the present, it feels like we have to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Only so many players, very few, have a chance to average 30, 10, and 5 for the entire season, and Giannis truly has a chance to do that. He's been doing it without Chris Middleton thus far. Let's take a look, actually, at the matchup between Giannis and Luka last night. They were in Pfizer Forum. You can see them there getting ready. Giannis and the Bucks hosting Luka and the Mavs. Let's go to the first quarter here. Luka willing the Mavs back into this game after they got out to a little bit of a slow start. Luka,
you know what's coming here.
Finding that three. And it's good. But speaking of three balls, Grayson Allen was shooting incredibly well in the first half.
What did he shoot, Malika?
Look at that, a little volleyball pass there to Grayson. You got Grayson one more time right here. Watch him coming off curl. And
he hears all that trade talk.
It was 7 for 7 for 3 in the first half. You can see the full stat there on your screen.
He's hearing that trade talk. He wants to prove his worth.
Pat Connaughton liked that one. Let's go ahead to the third quarter here today. The Bucks are up 4. Brooke Lopez with the quick hands for the steal.
You're going to see this again.
Watch out.
Hey, 2 dribbles from the opposite three-point line.
Why are you doing my breakdown before my breakdown?
Everybody just got out of the way. Does this remind you of anything?
Nope.
Well, Tim Hardaway is like, oh, shoot. I've been in this position before. Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
And he's just getting healthy, too. That's a life decision right there.
2 words, business decision right there.
Bigger than business. It's life decision.
Let's go ahead later in the third. Bobby Portis once again find Giannis. This just isn't fair. Wills himself to the basket and finishes.
I feel like we're obligated, Malika, to go, Bobby.
Even when Giannis is banking in off the glass.
Giannis is scoring.
Every time the Mavs made the run, the Bucks were able to answer here. Here's them after the game.
I mean, enjoy is hard because, I want to win. So it's hard to go against a guy like that, He's the best player in the NBA right now. It's almost impossible to stop. But it's really fun, to see him play. But it's not that fun to go against him.
Being respected by your peers, it's always a good feeling. I always love playing against the best player in the league. He's an incredible player, incredible talent. Arguably, probably one of the most talented players I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's unbelievable what he can do for himself and his team. And it's always great going against players like that.
A lot of praise here, but Janae, Luka just said Giannis is the best player in the NBA right now. What did you see that exemplified that to you?
Well, I saw that Giannis, he showed me that he is the hardest player to guard over 48 minutes because he goes hard on every single possession. He's averaging 30 and 11, and if you hesitate, if you take a second to blink, he's going to take advantage. So let's start with this. Giannis leads the league in points in the restricted area. So let's break it down. So if you see Giannis right here initiating the play, Giannis wants to go to the paint. And there's 2 things that he really actually wants. 1, he wants to be able to get here. And 2, he also wants his mismatch. And in this case, it is one guy by the name of Luka Doncic. No shade, but he knows he wants to go at him. Okay, so as you see this play progress, watch the pick and roll that forces that switch. And Giannis is so good that you have how many? 1, 2 defenders here, but then you also have the second line of defense. And I actually want you to watch one guy by the name of JaVale McGee, because watch what happens. He's an excellent rim protector, but that blink is really vacating because he's worried about getting defensive 3 seconds. Now, if you see Giannis, one of the most underrated aspects of his game is his ball handling. He keeps his head up. He's waiting for that second line to vacate, and then what does he do? At that moment, you'll see it, he chooses to attack. Bam, JaVale's late. And it leads to a nice little finish. Now check this out here. One thing that makes Giannis so great is that he plays on a very unselfish team. If you see this possession really progress, here, okay, he's getting buckets at the rim. What do you do if you're gonna respond? You're gonna make sure everybody's in the paint. How many guys are in the paint? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Spencer's even like, hey guys, like let's just fill the back wall here so no one actually gets the ball over here. And you see even his teammates, which I love right here, look at Brooke Lopez. He's using his hands to sort of signal, hey, like we could have an advantage here if you attack. Also, look at the tremendous spacing. 1, 2, 3. And then this final position is the dunker spot. So if he attacks, you can have a nice little dump down because the defense is higher than him. But instead, Giannis, he gets into his bag, hits in mid-range, and that's because he has amazing, amazing teammates that allow him to feel confident that way. But before I get to my final point, okay, I want to tell you this right here. Giannis is so impressive. The Bucks rank 20th in fast break points, but Giannis leads the league in 6.1 fast break points scored per game. So watch this happen. And I'm so mad at you, Matt, because you sort of broke this down before everything actually came through. But look at this. On this possession, look at where Giannis is when the turnover happens. Giannis is right here. He's low. How many teammates are in front of him when the ball is loose? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Matt said it exactly. How many dribbles does it take for him to get to the rim? 1, 2. Now, this is wild, y'all. This is the NBA. This is the Wild West, because normally when you have a 3-on-1, people are running to the rim. Instead, his teammates go to the three-point line, but that's because this guy doesn't really need a pass when he's in the paint. He's effective. He's great. And his teammates are unselfish. They're happy that he's doing his thing. There are many rising MVPs in the league, but Giannis's intensity and his production will always keep him at the top of the MVP conversation.
That's really interesting, especially because we talked about it a little bit in the highlight. Every time Luka would make a shot, every time the Mavs would go on a run here, the Bucks had an answer every single time. So despite a huge night from Luka, it just wasn't enough. He had a 27-point performance, but he still fell short of the 30-point threshold that it seems is necessary for Dallas to get wins. The Mavs, they're 0-5 in games Luka plays and scores under 30, compared to 9-4 when he hits that mark. But
thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.